Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Super Robot Wars Archives. I'm Austin, and today we're going to be playing Super Robot Wars R. Last time we just finished up with our attack on the fifth, or our landing on the fifth Luna, and today we're going to be looking at our first actual real crossover that this game has to offer. But before we get started, I just want to remind everyone that this project is more focused on data gathering and documentation of this game rather than the videos themselves. So the thing I want you to look at the most is the description. I have linked a full coterie of documents that have basically every part about this game mapped out with a few exceptions. But that's really what I'm here for. I mostly want to have a video version of that kind of information, just to have the point be proven that I'm not just pulling this out of thin air. So please go check those out. But without anything else, let's get started. We are in intermission. I've already allocated resources. We upgraded the excellence again. That's pretty much what we're going to always be spending money on. I did 2 more points of mobility, and I put 1 point into our defense. The excellence really is kind of split a little bit on which defensive type it likes. Because it has a couple of different forms it can take, so which one we are in is going to preference a different defensive type. But also, neither of them are more standout than the other, so I don't mind investing into a little bit of both. There's no bonus for maxing out all the stats as there are in some other games, so it's not as much of a priority, but it's still probably a somewhat safe. That being said, I would still rather prioritize mobility for, especially the early game, where healing is going to be a premium. I've also allocated some parts. I don't think we're going to need to use those, but we were running pretty low on the Rigazee last time, so we have 2 propellant tanks to fully restore our energy, and 1 repair kit. I know that the Rigazee has a full extra HP bar, but if we can preserve the first form of it, the mobile armor version of it, longer, I would prefer that. It just has better stats and better attacks. We put 1 cartridge on the Gigant. The Gigant mostly has ammo-based weapons, and the cartridge will restore all of those to full. We don't have anything on the Excellence. I guess we could put some repair kits on the Excellence. I gotta go back in. I am bad at how this menu handles parts. It always preferences you to the top of it. If there's a part that's equipped of it, it's always the part that's equipped. And I have the Rock Hyloon, that I keep wanting to call the White Base, has a propellant tank. I guess while we're here, we'll put the mostly because we had to consider whether we were using its high mega particle cannon at the end there, and just being able to fire this off more readily would be preferable. I don't think there's anything else to go over quite yet. We don't have a lot of menuing for the intermission, just because we only have 4 units right now. And even still, some of the menuing that I might be doing is maybe a little bit more advanced than what I want these playthroughs, this playthrough to look like for right now. I tend to like switching my units back and forth between, or my pilots back and forth between different units, especially when I'm using the Massingers, but I'm probably not going to use any Massinger units this playthrough. We'll see. And I think many people, if they're just getting into the series, are probably not going to try and mess around with moving pilots around that much. They'll probably just be the default ones. I do look forward to, if we get to a non-handheld game, that we can just skip the story whole. This is a lot of action. I guess while we're here, we can talk about what the scenario is going to look like. It's going to be kind of 2 phases, which is going to start to be a pattern for this game. Oh joy. Okay. Let's talk about our units first. So we now have 2 extra units, which is going to be the extent of the units we're going to receive for the rest of this intermission. this route split. That's the word. So you'll notice that the Rigazi appeared, and that we also have 2 other units on the board. So first, Amuro is now in the new Gundam, the main character suit from Char's Counterattack. It's rather potent with 7 range, and we don't need that much morale to get up to it. This will do a ton of work. Keira is in the mass production type new Gundam. We got this because we landed on 5th Luna within 7 or fewer turns. If we had not, she would have stayed in the Rigazi. And then Chan, who is in the Rigazi, would have also just been in a 2nd Jigan. You'll also notice that the parts did not stay tied to the pilot, but to the unit. So because Amuro went out of this, Chan got the Rigazi that had the 2 propellant tanks and the repair kit on it, which is fine. That's what we expected. Like, these parts are still relevant for how this unit works. It's just worth keeping in mind if you are equipping something like, for instance, a booster or an apogee motor, stuff that like changes stats that you might more associate with a pilot. If you're like, I want this pilot because of how they work to get further ahead than necessarily this unit. I think you can look at it both ways. But this is still the same Rigazi we had before. And then Hathaway is in a Jigan. I believe that this is a 2nd Jigan. I do not believe that he picked up Kairos. I believe there's a 2nd Jigan sitting in our inventory right now that if we wanted to switch someone back to, we could. Though it wouldn't stay because we didn't like pick any of these units. These were all just put on the board for us. They're what I would call a force deployed. And if a unit's force deployed, the game already is like preset to accept what units they're going to be in, so it will like re-slot them into these units. The only exception is the main character sometimes, and it will force deploy the excellence, but it will keep the unit the 4 bits in. But we can't switch forms with excellence right now anyway. Okay, so that's like very roughly our units. I won't spend a lot of time going over those. I don't mind doing that. I think it's fun, but like I suspect maybe a newer audience is not necessarily going to want to be hearing that immediately. If you have contrary opinions, I would love to hear it. But let's look at our map right now. So we have 3 groups of Gyaradogas. All 3 of these groups of 3 are all the same. And then we have 3 bosses. We have the same 2 bosses from last time. We have Yune and Resin. And then we've also added Quest Pariah. The gimmick here is twofold. So either once there are only 5 units left, so once we've destroyed, 7 of them? Once 7 have been shot down, all of the rest are going to retreat. Or, when quests, or sorry, not all the rest of them. Hold on. I'm explaining this in a bad order. Yune and quests are sort of tied together. If you destroy one of them, the other one retreats. Can they run away? Hold on, let me look at my notes. It looks like I have quests can, but Yune can't. Well, I'm curious to see if that is true. That feels incongruous, but I could be wrong. But if either of these 2 would leave the battlefield for any reason, the other one will also. In addition, if there are 5 or fewer units remaining, both quests and Yune will leave. So we want to be proactive if we want to try and take these bosses down. And then the second portion of this leaving is once turn 5 arrives, all of these Gundam units will go away. If there are any left on the board, all of them will leave. That's why I was sort of conflating the 2 separate things. They do actually occur in 2 different events. Once all the Gundam units leave, we're going to get a new force from like roughly over in this section. We can take our time with that one. Right now, we do kind of want to rush. I would prefer to take down one of these 2. If we can help it, it should be Quest, because Yune gives us a propellant tank, and we're going to get just far too many of those. There will be a point in the game where we have so many propellant tanks that like you can at max hold 9 of something, that we are just going to not pick them up because we're going to have our number capped. What I'm trying to figure out right now is if it's worth it to toss the majority of our units into the Rakai Loom, have Bright use Excel, and then have us move forward to try and get to these bosses as fast as possible. Putting our units into a battleship will decrease their morale by 10, so that's a roughly a 5, not roughly, it is a 5% damage decrease, but that's a small trade-off for actually getting a chance to kill the boss, potentially. If it is relevant, it's a small trade-off, but I think we get this, we're going to be roughly in the same spot, whether we're in the Rakai Loom or not. So I think we're just going to full send forward. Gyaradogas are just about the worst enemies, so I'm not wholly concerned on what they're going to do. We're going to try and keep people somewhat close to each other for support defense bonuses. I think no matter what, we're still going to use Excel on Braid. Does Kara also have Excel? No, she does not. That's bummer. There, and I don't mind leaving Amuro on his own. Both he and you will see the new Gundam are just absolutely wild. We are going to take every opportunity to do damage, though. We want support defense onto the Rakai Loom. Oh, I guess I should turn animation back on. We'll have to get used to that as I get used to streaming. I usually play without animations because it just takes so much. At least for the two units we've seen. And then we're just going to need to keep a very close watch of how many units we are destroying. It is one of the reasons why I try to count. If I did my editing correctly, I have the document set up such that it counts how many units are left, so you can always check on the board rather than being like, kill 17 things. Okay, how many did I get? I have it listed in terms of the number of things you need to destroy if multiple reinforcements will take place over the course of an event, so you just can't like check what's on the board. We got a very important spirit there. It's costly, but it just lets Amuro take a second turn in a row, and that might be relevant for bosses. Unfortunately, there is like a pause. It's a full proper second turn. It's not just a second attack. So if a boss does have a retreat threshold, it will check in between. So we still have to keep that. We have to take that into account. But we're gonna try and do what we did last time and have Amuro sitting next to the Rakai Loom to get the rivalry bonus from it, and then we're going to support attack off of the main character to shoot down us. The deal is, though, Fiona needs to be... No, that's not the right button. Fiona needs to get 120 morale by that point. So we do kind of need her to see combat. If we can get her to destroy any unit, that would be ideal. So let's take out something that the new Gundam took out last time, and it's 5 morale. So if she can get like 1 or 2 more kills during this enemy phase, I think I'm going to be pretty happy. I guess that's also worth saying. It doesn't have to be just with the Rakai Loom. Like if like both those fires, both those rivalry bonuses are applying to Amuro right now, and he would get the effects of both of them. So like getting him just absolutely surrounded by the rest of the Gundam units will matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can still take down 4 things comfortably before the boss's retreat. I'm actually not going to worry about resin too much because I'm hoping we can just like thrash Quest next turn. Quest will move this turn, so she will get closer. So we can theoretically be in position. She'll move here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah. both of our both the main character, both Fiona and Amuro, can be in position for where Quest is going to move. Yeah, that's fine. Hathaway is on the more fragile side of things, so he's going to be a little bit harder to get used. Also, he just like fully wastes a spirit spot. Like, this gives anyone gain, such as they get double experience in the next combat, and this is get double experience in the next combat. Like, these are wasted. They're just overlapping. Not that Hathaway is necessarily like supposed to be good at this, but it's just so disappointing to see. Let's try it. Just shy. So here's one consideration. I'm like very clearly forecasting the space that I want Amuro to go, but we also don't have to do it that way. Oh, right, we also want Chan to... We would love to use the Fortune if we can help it. We're not gonna... I don't think we're gonna be able to use it on the boss and also get the kill. We could do Valor plus Fortune so we can double damage, get double money. But I think I would rather... So doubling the boss would give us 3,000. If we double 2 of the enemies that don't retreat, we would get more than 3,000 from those. So I would rather just save Chan for not the boss. I think it's too risky to send her at the boss and potentially lose the benefit from the parts and the money they drop. Just finish a sentence. Good golly. So we can move Amuro here. And you see that he's getting multiple of those bonuses from standing here. And then we can move the white base up next turn. And then we're not worried about the unit being like grayed out because they've taken their turn with rivalry bonuses, or you'll see the first instance of the lovers bonus between Chan and Amuro. The units will still provide those supports, whether or not they've taken their turn, unlike how a support attack would work. We are just going to defend with the Rock Highway, because if we can help it, we really want Fiona to get kills. There's what? There's 3 bosses. There are 3 other enemies above this. So this is fine. Just in case, I don't think this can kill. Yeah. Incredible that they're going for the Duke Gundam over someone else. Like, they have 0 displayed hit. I'll turn these on one of these days. Just like, obviously not for these. It's fine. Come on, 1. Okay. I guess we're gonna take out 1 more of these. I don't think we're gonna go for Fiona. We've got 3 bosses, 3 on the bottom, that's 6, 7. I think... Oh, this is the trouble. I'm not keeping good count. 3, 4. There's still 7 left. 8 left. Okay. Best laid schemes and all that. Sick. I mean, bummer we can't counterattack, but we are just within range. Totally fine. Okay. What's Fiona got? She's 11 shy. Okay, we definitely can't. This is fine. We can soften Quest up. We don't have to like do this in one whole swoop. She does retreat at 30%. Which is like roughly 2,000 HP. So we can go here. Okay. We want to move the white base adjacent to Amuro to get this like really big rivalry bonus. We then have 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 8 units remaining. Once we hit 5, that's when the problem happens. So we need to have 6 with Quest. So we're allowed to take out 2 more of these. We can't give both of them to Fiona. Hold on, we're just going to turn this on now. We're going to wait a second. But we can't give both of them to Fiona if we want to start engaging in like full combat this turn. But we can at least give her this one. This puts her up to 14. And then I guess we can hope that they're going to go for her during the enemy phase. We're actually I think we're just going to toss Hathaway into the white base to try to make that more likely to happen. We've got enough of these. Oh, that's a bit of a... no, actually, this works out fine. So... yeah, see, this costs 50. We get a second turn after this. I suspect we're probably not going to be using it. I would much rather have fewer turns that are better than 2 turns that are, like, okay. So you see that the blue flashing arrow, that means that Quest is also going to get support defense off of Resin. So I'm actually kind of pro this. We don't want to have to try and be like fussing with that next turn. So if we can start knocking Resin's HP down such that she doesn't have the HP to support defense, that's good. And then we're getting a support attack off of the mass production new Gundam. And the support attack will not account for support defense. Oh, that's so the support attack would still go to Quest. See, that's like exactly the same animation that the fairies use. The fairies are just like the actual like particle for the fairy is different, but it still does like roughly the same thing, which is like fine. It's the GBA. Like, I'm pleased with it. Yeah. What? That was such a whiff of a turn. That does mean that Kira is in range to attack her again. Oh boy. We can move Sean forward to get a shot in to try and break the... Let's do that. That still gives us exactly enough for 2 fortunes. We are getting unfortunate. You do really learn what statistics, like what probability actually feels like with these games. We're gonna full hit, and we're only gonna take 10 from this attack. Is that even worth it now, though? Maybe that was a little bit wasteful of me. We're still gonna do it, because its damage will still go over to Resin. We just want Resin to be low enough that she can't give the support defense next turn. Oh, she got a shield defense to go off of it. We should take even less damage. Okay, so instead the plan might be... Okay, well, A, we don't mind that, because we are going to still try and destroy Resin. The turn after. This is turn... Yeah, okay, that's fine. The Rock Highland can take this. We do still want to destroy Resin on turn 5. It might have to be on enemy phase, but that's fine. But what might happen is, I believe Resin only has 1 support defense. We'll check before we actually go into the fight proper. But If we can break that with someone else first, that might be our key to victory. So, like, we might have Kara just pop the support defense to make sure things are okay. It looks like things are not going to go our way, though, but we'll make it work. I can't remember off the top of my head. I believe the answer is no, but I think if we used Valor on Kara, she would not get that Valor bonus for the portion of her support attack. Like, she'd only get it for her regular attack. Okay, so now knowing what we know, we can shoot this. We can shoot this Gyaradoga down to decrease the enemy numbers by 1. It doesn't actually change whether or not they're going to retreat, and it does just give everyone 1 more morale, which is a 0.5, which is it's a 0.5% point damage increase, but it does still count for something. Yeah, the trouble is that they retreat so quickly into the mission that we like don't have time to build up morale in a way that like lets us actually like get damage off real well. Yeah, we're still 5 shy. Okay, I think probably what I should have done is knowing that I probably should have moved. I could have moved this entire like block up 2 spaces such that the main character had enough range to counterattack with a regular shot here to like get the HP down. But that's not what we did. So here's also like, so when I was saying about like as resident HP with support defending, if the unit, at least as far as R goes, if the unit with support defense does not have enough HP to take the damage from the incoming attack, they cannot support defense. Like, you can't sack a unit using support defense to take damage for another unit. Like, they have to be able to live it. So there's also like a strat of getting resident HP so low that she just wouldn't be allowed to activate her support defense, but I don't think that's going to be the case here. It's on Reza, not on her. Oh, she's got 2 instances of it? That's really unfortunate. We're set up just all wrong. Okay, we do have our best attack with our battleship. So we can support attack with Bright instead of Kara. Does he have... He does not have good accuracy, though. Okay. We've got 30, 45. So we could try and go... We do still want to go... So, okay. I was thinking we could attack Yune, because we have better accuracy, so even if we don't like care about doing damage to him, we're more likely to get a hit for the support defense. But we do have a support attack off of Chan. We can bump that up to 65%. So like maybe apply some damage on to Quest also. And then we're definitely gonna move the main character forward. We definitely want to move the main character forward to try and get. If we might have to destroy Quest on enemy phase. I was a little too reserved in getting these units here. I should have moved them up 1 more space last turn. That would have made things so much better. How do we want to do this? So we could guarantee that we knock off a resin HP there, or a resin support defense there, but then Amuro has a much less good support attacker. I don't actually think there's a way because she's at full HP. If she had taken any shots throughout the course of this. Okay. We could. Oh, everything's fine. Game just froze for a second. We do also have Hathaway still. We could use Hathaway to try to get that to happen. That's not the worst idea. I don't particularly care for him. And if he dies, we do lose some funds, but I'm doing this less for the funds and so much more for the parts and just more to prove that you can do it. Okay, so if we toss Hathaway over here, that takes down 1 support defense. That will hopefully leave that's the other thing I'm thinking about is maybe knocking out 1 with how low her HP is does mean that she's only going to get 1 support off anyway. It's just that Bright's accuracy is really, really pitiful against these guys. So maybe. Okay, here's a thought. Bright attacks Resin. That's like decent accuracy. She won't counterattack. Quest will absorb that, which is damage we want to apply, and then Chan will support attack. I think that's the play. Chan will support attack and get damage onto Resin enough that she's very unlikely to be able to support defense with Quest. Then the support attack can come from the... yeah, we're gonna do this. The support attack can come from the mass production to Gundam then. This just needs to land. I think we're good. Cool, great. And then there's not a question of Chan, because this is 100% accuracy. I think it's more like 85 if it was like normally a normal attack. Yeah, no shot, she gets a support defend after that. Okay. Kara does need to have Bullseye for this to work because she had miserable accuracy last turn. We can focus. We do have access to Valor. I think we're just gonna pull and use Valor too. So here's the next deal. Quest is at 5,432. She can go no lower than 2,040. What is... oh, right. Okay. I was thinking I needed to move Chan back to give Amuro more damage, but Chan does not provide damage. The Lover's bonus provides defense. So we can pop Hathaway here, not have him actually do anything, but it is giving Amuro a 5% damage increase, which is still something. Chan can try to take this shot. I guess. Do we? Hold on. What is Quest counterattacking with? The Mega Particle Cannon. That would be enough to kill us, I believe. It's not the funnels though. It's 2,200. That's 150. What's her morale at? 107. So that's 257. Divided by 200 is, I don't know what that math is. That's like 1.25%, right? Roughly. So 1.25% of 2,200 is, what's a quarter of that? 5,500, like 275-ish. So say, yeah, I think that's doing 2,400 true damage, or not true damage, but like that's going to be doing 2,400 before defenses roughly. We've got 900 armor. We take morale into account for defense too. I'm pretty sure. We're up on it anyway. So if we shave 900 off of that, I think we are just living. Okay, I'm not going to. See if my math was right. I don't mind using this either for low accuracy attack because she wasn't going to do anything else productive this turn anyway. Yeah, sick. So I said what? 1,500? 7. Okay. Bummer. It's fine though. Like, it's not like she's like fully dead. That does mean the propellant tanks. They're not wasted, we don't lose them. They're just sitting here and they're not doing anything. Okay. Here is the moment of truth. 100% accuracy on Amuro. 100% accuracy on Kara. We have used Valor. I'm still not going to spend Valor on Kara. I'm pretty confident that it doesn't work on support attacks, and I do think this will be. Amuro does do crazy things. Oh boy, I did not account for the fact that Amuro was just like, I knew it was going to do a lot, but I really had undervalued how damaging that Valor was going to be. She would have just like fully killed her. Okay, great. That's what we came for. And like, we're probably not going to keep the high performance radar on for like the whole game. It's not like we're going to be at a loss if we don't have that the entire time, but it's something. Okay, main character is definitely going to go get resin then. We have to kill her this turn, otherwise she's going to use the repair kit. And that would be a waste. Not of the repair kit, just of how much damage we would need to do to get her back down again. I don't think we can kill her. And she would use that before she took her turn. So we couldn't even do a lot counter kill. Cool. And then we'll just give a level Kara. Kara's level 7. These are also level 7. Are the next enemies they are 2 levels higher. I think we maybe save this. I think there's enough that Kara's at least gonna get a kill out of the upcoming enemies. I'm also acting like it's like a massive surprise, like it's not gonna be like. It's not like it's like it's not a great surprise. It's not like it's like I can't think of a good example. Like if you know what's in this game already, you know like roughly what it's in there. Do notice how often enemies are attacking our battleship. I don't necessarily think that means you ought to be speccing into the battleship in terms of like really, really valuable parts or putting a lot of funds into making grids for them. But you can plan around the fact that the enemies are going to try to destroy your battleship whenever at all possible. So if it is in range, odds are they're going to be attacking it. If it's not in range, see how that enemy did have a target. They won't move to go attack the battleship if they can. But if they don't have one, they're going to try to go to the battleship. Just because the battleship is, I think in any scenario where there is a battleship, I think it is always a defeat condition to lose all of them. There is a point where we will have more than one on the battlefield. I mean, you lose, you could lose. Where are we right now? We are far enough away that I also don't mind triggering the enemies. So here's another deal to consider. If enemies arrive based on the destruction of other enemies. So, like, we're shooting this enemy down. This will be the last enemy on the board. Therefore, more enemies will arrive on the map. But they would also have shown up on turn 5 if we had not shot them down. Because they are arriving during the enemy phase, the non-boss units will get their turn still. It's Butcher. Or sorry, Killer. In the Bandok, these enemies are from Zambot 3. Another crossover from the. Oh man, I can't remember the guy who made Gundam right now. It'll come to me probably as soon as I stop the recording. Okay, so we have some. Oh, I don't have scan yet to take a look at these, but we have some more super enemies. They have. We're gonna have a much easier time of hitting them, but they have just so much more HP. And then Killer the Butcher is going to be a common annoyance on our side. He's going to show up a couple times throughout this fight, throughout the mission. Game. He is also just a particular nemesis to me because he also can retreat, but he is, to my knowledge, the only boss in the game that retreats at 15% his max HP rather than everyone else who retreats at 30%. But that did mean I needed to check every other boss just in case. Oh, this is the Rigazine. It just looks similar to the new concept. Go figure. I think I'm pro trying to soften these up a little bit beforehand. I think, let's see if this just outright kills it. It's possible that this, with a combination of both the new Gundams, that they will just die. But see, it has 7,000 HP. That's more than, like, this is a common enemy. This is like a generic. And it has more HP than most of the bosses we just saw. That doesn't necessarily make it harder. It's just like a thing that we're going to need to consider. We're going to start facing very tanky enemies. I do, like, maybe it's because I grew up watching Power Rangers. I did grow up watching, like, some Mecha anime. But I do just love the absolutely like, bizarre designs of these, of, like, the more kaiju kind of oriented enemies. I think they're so cool. So we really largely ruined that. The Doyozara, is that what it is? What is this? Yeah, the Doyozara. We could finish that with Hathaway. Let's see how he does. Let's finish this with Hathaway. I say not actually that tough. That's only 400 HP. I'm sure he can do it. And then we can leave the Rock Hailu, and it was close. We can leave the Rock Hailu, the Rigazine, and the Excellence for the other one. Oh, we would still have. I forgot that was just a support attack. She didn't actually contribute a regular damage. I really undervalued support attacks the first time or two I played through this. I did not see them as contributing that much damage, but they like it does sort of feel like you get 2 turns sometimes if you use them really well. Again, we were fighting a boss, but like we had 20 hit on this for some of those bosses, and we're now getting 100 hit. Rather than... So I also think this Persist is a waste on Bright. Rather than spending this, I would rather just save this SP and then use the willpower to like full heal rather than prevent like just a little damage. That said, it's a shame Sean does not have enough range to hit it from where she was standing. Okay. This actually might be a good opportunity for Sean to get to use that blessing. let's use focus. We're probably not going to need it many more times other than when we're fighting the butcher. I just, again, because we're not like that leveled up, I'm hesitant to risk using blessing on a boss that could return like that. Okay, so we did 1900. We're gonna try and do some math sideways. We have 159 range damage. Oh boy, Sean is so okay. Sean is just much worse in range damage. I was hoping that we could maybe toss the blessing on now, but I don't think we're going to, even with the 10% buff from being next to these two. I think let's try this, and I don't think I'm sure the white base can't go here. But it would have been cool if we could have used the white base to also attacked one of the what's the other one called? The Tresset. I'm pretty sure. I've not watched Sandbox 3, so I'm doing my best with translations. We're like trying to find official names. If you've not played a Super Robot Wars game before, Blessing is pretty well always brutal. So it doubles the amount of money, it doubles the amount of credits you get off of your next kill, but it applies to the next attack, regardless of whether that kills or not. So if we hadn't landed that kill, we just would have gotten, it would have just been wasted. I know a lot of people tend to save state to do that just because of like the randomness of it. I think that's totally valid. I want to try to show that you do not need to do that, but I think that is more than defensible. Sometimes these numbers get just get ruined. The number of 99s I have missed, and the number of ones that have killed me, like 1% hits or maybe 9% hits, just so high. It's so ludicrously. It's actually, with that said, I do think that this game uses I'm trying not to directly call out other tactics games. I understand that to be somewhat good form, but it's hard to because a lot of what I'm trying to do with this is use the formatting and familiarity we already have in the communities of tactics games. So it's inevitable at some point. But I'm comparing this to the 1, 1.5, and 2 RN system from Fire Emblem. I know that it's not unique to those games. It's just if we say that's the tactics game, it's probably what we're going to think of first. I do think that this game uses a 2 RN system. What that means very briefly is basically it feels a little bit more like what you would think the percentages to look like are. So as you get higher numbers, the number is actually a lot higher than you think it is. So 99 is actually 99.999%, or the reverse is true. So a 1% hit is a lot more 0.001% chance to hit. I think the distribution is skewed that way. I don't know enough about coding or opening up a game to find that out for sure. But when I've done some testing for some of the dodging based abilities, or just looking at this combat, the math feels like that. If anyone in the comments is smarter than me, probably everyone in the comments is smarter than me. If anyone in the comments is smarter than me about this particular topic, I would love insight. Because just going on vibes is, to me, not a satisfactory answer. Alright, so the Rock-Kai Loom is probably going to attack one of these two this turn. They can't counterattack, and it's a lot of damage. If we can help it, I would like to get the 2 support attacks off of it, though. So we could use Fiona here, attack there. We are now at the point where we have more support attacks than we have units to use it, though. So as long as basically everyone is getting a support attack, we're going to be happy other than the last person to attack. The trouble is, while Amuro has some other legal moves, they're just not that stellar. Maybe we will send Amuro up and attack here, because otherwise he's not really doing a whole lot. We can have... Okay. Maybe we will just have Amuro do this. Actually, we can support off the main character instead. I want to kind of restrain myself a little bit, because if we can get the second blessing off of K-Row, or not K-Row, John, now, that would be ideal, so we don't have to worry about it later. I think we will. I think I'm probably going to also go back to just map attack, or map animations for a bit. We've seen what the Tracid looks like. I'll probably pop him back on 4 when we're fighting Butcher, or we're fighting Killer, but we'll get a chance to look at him a lot over the course of this game. Oh, and, okay, yeah, I just commented on the fact that we have 2 attacks, and that we switched to the main character for expressly this purpose, so... We have the propellant tanks, so let's use them if we need to, but we don't. Great. A good, it's an important level up for Chan. She gets both point of leadership and new type level. Is that leadership? No, that wasn't leadership. That's blocking. That also somehow factors into the shoot down, sword cut, and shield defense. I don't know how, though. I think I like going for the... I think we're going to attack this Tracid, just because you saw we could still hit it with a couple of other of our units. This is the safest. Wow, a 9% chance to hit. See, this is what I was talking about. Despite those claims that you are at, you still just get wrecked so often by percentages. It also has such a good chance to hit K-Row too. It's a little spooky. We couldn't have put parts on her. I couldn't have given her a repair kit just because we didn't have the unit until the actual scenario. A 40% chance to hit is honkin' rough. I think we're gonna try. Yeah, excellent. And we're just gonna leave Hathaway right here. I should have moved Hathaway first, knowing that K-Row was going to go here, so I could have provided the damage buff. That's okay. The Bandock is going to move this turn. We're not going to give that to Amuro. He's just going to dodge. Cool. We are going... Oh, she's got support defense, even better. Yeah, we can use guys. That's fine. 20,000 each. It's so much. Oh, sick, we didn't even use it. If we can, I probably should have had Amuro kill that Tracid. If we can, we basically just want to focus down the Bandock. It does have a very nasty map attack, which kind of discourages us from being next to each other. It's it's the same shape as our map attack. I got this one. So it does discourage us from being close together. It does kind of want us to, like, spread ourselves out. It does have 0 accuracy adjustment, though. So that's not nothing. Okay, the scenario does continue even if the Bandok is gone. We might just, like, full send on attacking the Bandok this turn. Just to try and get it out of here. I think our best attack is the combination of Amuro and Fiona, so we're going to save that until the very end. So, how do we want to do this? Okay, let's check if this is 100% hit. Okay. I'm tempted to use the propellant tank so we can get 2 shots. Oh, we get 2 shots of the high mega particle cannon. Regardless. Hold on, let's make sure he doesn't have, like, energy eater or something. No, he just has a small energy restoration every turn. So I think we want Hathaway. We might have Hathaway start. You've got no defensive abilities. Okay. We might be sending you to your death point, but that's okay. They don't stay dead. Okay, maybe not. So someone needs to end. It's going to be the main character. So she won't need a support attack partner. Keira's going to sit tight, so because we want her to use the imcoms. So if she goes first, we do want to do Hathaway first. Because just make sure we're getting the right one. This gives us 2 attacks with the incomes, which is better. And then the Rigazee gets the support attack off of the Rock Highland instead. Regardless, the small energy regen only gives back 10%. So at most that they could get back, Killer could get back 30 in a turn. So it's also possible if we just land all these attacks, even if we don't kill him, we might have enough. We may have attacked enough times that he won't have enough energy left. We do want to ignore that damage for this attack. Keira's too low. We don't have a good way of killing her. Can't wait till we get the Methus. Sick. Yeah, he needs 50 to use the map attack. So we need to get him. We need to have him spend about 150 more energy, and then we will be safe from that. Okay. Oh right, we have to risk this because she's got no more SP left. I'm not going to waste a repair kit on this. I don't think this can kill her. It wants us to prioritize using the main character because he does more damage, but that's why we are saving him. I think we're going to get that. Yeah, we were a little suboptimal with the attacks because I don't like we were suboptimal with the support attacks because the Rock Loom is not going to get a support attack partner, but that's okay. Okay, 3,000 HP, we still got plenty of room to spare. It's just a matter of Oh, can these two do 5,000 together? There's maybe a thought to waiting until, man, we just did not get quite close enough. There's maybe a thought until waiting until next turn. It's also 10,000 credits. It's like really, it's the idea of passing it up is hard to stomach. Did we give her a repair kit? We did give her a repair kit. Maybe we wait until next turn and we can just like chip him down with someone else. He's not gonna restore HP at all. I think that's the safer play. Let's be safe. And just take out 2 more of these. We are gonna use the repair kit then. Actually, we're gonna use Flash also. Flash just means we dodge the next attack, so if whatever we're attacking, we got plenty of energy. We're gonna just take this kill. Because the enemy is not going to counterattack us, we don't need it's not gonna spend it. So the flash will stay for next turn. I'm also underestimating how much damage that is doing. We probably could have killed another one. I've been playing D in my free time right now, and you just do so much less damage in that game. I don't know if the formula's different or just like the numbers are lower. The attack numbers are not. Off the top of my head, I cannot think of what how their stats compare against. The how stats compare against these games. Yeah, I don't think I've seen a 4,000 unless I'm using Valor. Okay. I think that's the safest shot. Great. Unfortunate that this is going to spend our flash, but sometimes. Even if we had chosen to try and dodge, no matter what, it was still going to spend our flash because we're still getting an attack against us. And we also know that the boss attacks last. Pretty much always the bosses are going to attack last compared to the minions from the same series. I also have all that outlined in the data. Okay, let's see what we got. Dodge that anyway. Despite having animations on that, we just still get, like, there is just a map animation for it. Okay. Again, this would be great if I could just, like, sit and do some math, but I don't think that's the most entertaining of content. What we're gonna try is we're gonna try just Keira. And hopefully that will not put him below 3,000. So, 2,400 damage or less. Incredible. I think it's about as close as we could have gotten. And if my paperwork is correct, he will not retreat. If he does, I will need to update some things. Go on. Excellent. Shame about the Chance Spirit, though. That's okay. Now we need... We're just gonna make sure. I guess that one doesn't matter. Okay. Amuro attacks and support attack off of the Excellence. And then the Excellence can go and kill the last enemy remaining. It'll stay on even though we kill this. Oh, never mind. I was wrong. I'll update paperwork. I thought they stayed. Well, that's that. I am pleased with those results. That's a heck of a lot of funds or credits we're going to get to spend to upgrade the Excellence. We have just one last scenario remaining in the future tutorial portion of this route split. We're still going to stay with the Gundam units a little bit beyond that, but for now, not for now. Our next scenario is going to be the last with these units. So look forward to that for next time. Thank you everyone for sticking around. I appreciate it. Hopefully this has been entertaining. I've said it before, but I will say it again. There's just not enough content about Super Robot Wars out there. I know this isn't the newest of the games, but I think these old games still hold just a lot of depth to be explored. All of these videos are going to be pre-recorded, so if you have any thoughts, I'm happy to respond to them in the comments, but please bear in mind that I won't be able to respond to them in video. I think this is probably the last time I remind this. I think at this point you all probably have heard it enough. If you're sticking around to episode 4, you probably have watched the first 3. But yeah, if you have any thoughts, I'm happy to take them in the comments. I look forward to talking to you all, but otherwise I will see you in the next one. Take care.